Hey everybody, welcome to another entry in the Hyrule Compendium. A big thing we are trying to do with this is to talk about topics that you guys want to hear us talk about. So we encourage you to leave a comment on just any topic. Legend of Zelda, it doesn't have to be Breath of the Wild, or it could be too. Today we are talking about Breath of the Wild. Repeat commenter Tim B wants us to just talk about Korok seeds.
Okay.
Are there too many? Are the puzzles okay? Yeah.
So I'm now going through my what I guess is my third playthrough, and I'm trying to get all of the Korok seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going region by region, and I feel like I've been doing this forever now, and I'm at 210 or something.
Yeah.
There are too many.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many. I don't know how. I think they can justify the 900 because I think they're pretty spaced out nicely. I don't feel that there's too few or too many in any particular region.
Yeah, there's done on top of each other. Yeah.
There's a few that are close, and then there's a few that are. But I mean, generally speaking, I think it has more to do with the scope and size of the world. That if you're going to have this level of density, and then you're going to have this big of a world, you're going to need this many of, you're going to need something to do in the Hebrew region or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the amount of Korok seeds was sort of, they probably came to that final number based on the world, based on the overworld.
Yeah.
I think there were too many though. I mean, but this goes to say that I also think the overworld was slightly too big.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
that's not what a lot of people want to hear.
Right. Yeah. Well. I actually think there's probably for every 10 people that play this game, 9 of them they probably didn't even enter a region,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not a region, but a whole section of a region.
Okay.
Even you haven't even been to the lake region,
or
Farron,
two of them.
Farron region, I think. Yes, you didn't even see an entire city. There's an entire town by the beach over there.
Yeah. And that's one thing I felt like, this is a whole nother discussion, but I was just kind of oh, this is on my map, I'll go do this. I was very influenced by the waypoints in the game.
Right.
And so, in the missions, so I would see the 4 divine beasts, I'm like, oh, I'll go see what that's all about.
Right.
And then when I was done with that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the end. I'm already there, basically.
Right. The game never guides you towards the Hebrew region or the Gerudo Highlands or those two areas, the lake region, I think the Farron region.
Yeah. And not to be, I don't want to be overly negative about the game, but people talk about how open it is and it does encourage a lot of exploration, but I think it does itself almost a disservice by, every other quest, it's like the memories. You have to find them. I think the divine beasts, you should have to find them too.
Okay.
I don't think they should tell you where they are, because I'm sure there are people who played like me where you're just, when you see that objective and it's easily that's easy to figure out where it is, I'm gonna go there and see what it's all about.
Right.
But we're off topic a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I do think there is decent diversity in terms of the puzzles. I would say the vast majority of the Korok seed puzzles are picking up rocks or shooting balloons. But there's a handful of other ones that I thought were more engaging, I think. Mm-hmm. I like the one where you find a hole, and then you have to go up the slope, and you find a pillar or a big ball that you have to roll down the hole to get in.
There's some fun ones like that.
Yeah, I like the ones where you have to there's a ball and chain, and you have to lift the ball and put it in a tree trunk.
Yeah.
And some of them there's 2 tree trunks and there's 2 balls, and you gotta create a tightrope with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fun. I like the ones where there's flower. You have to get the one with 1 flower, then the one with 2 flowers. You have to get them in order based on the number of flowers there are in the bundles.
Yeah.
So there is diversity.
Even within the styles, they change it up a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know how many different. I would say there's probably 15 to 20 different types of Koroks.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just say there's 20 of them. And then there's, 40 of each type or something like that. That's not exactly true because there's definitely more rock pickups than anything, but...
And I guess another reason we know there might be too many is that can't you max out your...
Yeah, you only need to collect, I don't know the number, it's like 400 or 450, like half of them or so.
Half of...
To get the full upgrades of the arrows, weapons, and shields. Mm-hmm. And who needs a full maximum inventory of shields and bows?
Right.
So it is overkill. The rewards are not always there.
Uh-huh.
Like the first initial ones are worth it, definitely.
Yeah.
But you only need 1 Korok seed to get them, or 2, and then it progresses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely going. I mean, that with that and the shrines too are meant to kind of fill up the world a little bit.
Right.
Get you to look around and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. I do think as an alternative, I think what could have I like, generally speaking, what are your thoughts on collectibles in Zelda games?
They're all right, but I'm never. There's only I can count on one hand the Zelda games I've 100%ed.
Okay.
So if they're not completely necessary, like I'll probably never get all Korok seeds, but maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But something like all the masks in Majora's Mask, I did that because the reward was pretty cool, even though you didn't actually, like, you could beat the game without it.
Have you ever gotten all the heart containers or heart pieces in any Zelda game?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Twilight Princess and in Majora's Mask, yeah, I've gotten.
I feel collectibles, you need 2 things. You need diversity in terms of how you collect them,
mm-hmm.
and you need, I think, worthwhile rewards.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel in the case of Majora's Mask, you gave the examples. The masks, they all had somewhat unique abilities, and you used some of them you didn't really use often, but they all had some purpose.
Yeah.
Something. And it gave reason to want to get them, I think.
Mm.
And heart pieces have always been an easy one to just, because you're increasing your health, so it's you want to maximize the rows of hearts you have. This one, because of the spirit orbs, how they had them in the shrines, that took away the upgrade system for hearts. I feel like instead of doing 900 Koroks, they could have diversified this a little bit better.
Yeah.
An example I'll give is maybe not the greatest example, but Phantom Hourglass, because they had heart containers. They had you could collect. They had the Sands of Hours, just more time in your hourglass, but it was a different collectible. There was the Spirit Gems, power gems, courage gems, wisdom gems, all having different unique abilities when you upgrade them. You upgrade your sword, your defense power, your sword beam.
Okay.
And there was also the treasure charts in their corresponding sunken treasure. The point I'm making here is there was like 6 or 7 different collectibles in that game, and that's not really that big of a game. Whereas when I think of the collectibles in Breath of the Wild, I think it's a lot more limited.
Yeah.
There's obviously armor. There's, I guess, the orbs for heart. That's the shrines. We'll just call them that. And then Koroks. And it's like limited with what else you can collect. Mm-hmm. And I think it'd be nice if they put certain items behind like collectible walls, basically. So like maybe instead of 900 Korok seeds, there was 200 Korok seeds, and they served the exact same purpose.
Yeah.
And then the other 700 were not Koroks, but they were, I don't know, whatever, gooey gems.
Right.
And you need 100 of them, and you got
great.
the blade of Gooey's Bane or something.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in.
That had some super, something that was more noteworthy.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
For me,
or you put the armor behind some of the best armor behind some of those collectibles. So sometimes, like whenever I opened the treasure chest and I got an armor piece, I was like, oh, this is a big deal.
Uh-huh.
A bigger deal than a gold rupee or opal or something.
Mm-hmm. For me, a big influencer is like story, even if it's not important as far as exploring the world goes, because I'm thinking they got to populate this world with something. If instead there was like some more side quests or more fleshed out side quests that kind of sent you to those areas, that to me I would be way more happy to explore the world.
Yeah.
Instead of well, I just got to look around because I know there's a Korok seed at almost every turn, or
Yeah.
not literally, but
I feel I'm collecting these just because it's there in the game, not because it's a desirable thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think a problem actually.
Yeah.
There should be better incentives to want to have to collect them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I think back to I always bring up Skyrim, but not that most of the side quests in that game are go here and get this thing, and then you go there and it's a cave, and you kill everything in the cave, and then you get whatever it is and bring it back to the person, and they're like, oh, to me, I guess that's not ideal, but I at least like the idea that because I went there and did this thing, I like progressed some sort of story. Same thing with the Majora's Mask. I was happy to do all of the notebook and all that stuff because I like to change things in the game world, as opposed to just seeing the numbers go up.
Right, I agree. Yeah, there was not the Koroks did not feel like a living, breathing piece of the game. Mm-hmm. They were just kind of there.
I feel bad for some of the people we see who are like, they don't want to get all 900 Korok seeds, but they have to get all 900 Korok seeds.
I know.
That's you?
Yeah, I have 100% everything, almost every Zelda game. So why stop now?
Yeah, you're not about to just go out like that.
It's not as outrageous as 100%ing Hyrule Warriors though.
Oh yeah,
which is I think Locke has hit the 700-hour mark, and he's not quite there yet.
He's been playing it for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is not that bad. At least there's only 900 Korok seeds, not 9,000 Korok seeds.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. But yeah, people debate all the time, like bigger game worlds,
Yeah.
People want them, but at what cost?
There needs to be more of a reason for it to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally think the world could have been a little smaller. But that was not that's not a breaking point in the game or anything.
For sure.
That's what I'm getting at. So,
well, yeah, I guess you guys let us know what you thought of the Korok seeds.
And post in the comments how many Korok seeds you collected.
Yeah, and do you intend to keep going?
Yeah.
Let us know if you want us to talk about anything else. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.